before we press play here, this is or record. This is going to be at the beginning of this is part of the
This
theatre
is
lanes.
Oberon, yes.
Ah,
this
beautiful.
is the start of Oberon, who's the first male fairy.
Ah,
I've done. So Oberon is the king of the fairies.
nice.
So it's sort of interesting.
And this is going to be part of. I don't know how big you're going to put. This is for the theatre lane installation.
Yes.
Which is going to involve how many? So the
It's
Oberon and
Oberon and Titania, and they're going up the stairs. So Oberon's sort of standing by the window. There's a long window there.
yeah.
So he has to get his wings on, which will be like about quite big. And
Right,
he's going to have a
right.
sword and sort of chain mail sort of vest going over the top of him. So that's just the start of him. He's had about 6 hours on him so far.
So how many coat hangers now would he be?
Oh, I'd say
you
that's
must go through a huge amount of coat hangers. I just thought, wow,
Luckily,
what a
luckily
talent.
my coat hangers
You
are
don't
on
have.
there.
You've got a coat hangers on a roll.
Yeah,
That's
I've got a
that
coat
handy.
hangers on a roll. So there you go. That's using just this thinner wire.
Right.
And and then inside, you need to get a little bit of structure. Luckily, he's just got structure across there.
It's fair to say, Emma, you've established yourself very quickly in this wonderful, kind of creative side that you have, and these wonderful pieces that you put. That, a lot of people have reacted to them. They've been in the national media. I mean, is it a case of you've been doing this for years and years and just decided to go public, or
Not at all. I've always worked in the design industry, and I was working in fashion, and that sort of towards the end of the recession that closed up, and really it's more my mother who said to me that she'd seen somebody over in the UK, and everybody was milling round their stand, I think at Chelsea. And she says, and you could do better work than that, Emma. She says, she says, I think you should do that. She said, when you were 14, you did a dinosaur for me. I did a dinosaur for her stand, just out of chicken wire.
Right.
And I made this big dinosaur, and then the kids took it and paper mache it. But she said, I'll never forget you being out in the garden and you just made this enormous dinosaur without a picture or anything.
Wow.
And she says, so you go ahead and do that. So I started off doing that. So
God bless bossy mothers. That's what we need. If it wasn't for bossy mothers, I don't think half the world would be, where it is.
Yes, absolutely. So and that's totally my mom. Yeah. So now she's a great follower. So she.
And the piece now for the theatre lane, you said yourself, it takes 3 or 4 weeks, I think, to do a piece. So
yes.
you're maybe happily, but also it's pressure that you've got quite a short deadline to make and install this. What's going to be, I would imagine, quite a big, beautiful piece when it's all put together. I'm sure part of you is delighted that you have that sort of pressure, but then I'm sure part of you is, are you sleeping all right? You're getting all your...
No, it's wonderful having commissions in that respect, because sometimes, when you've got a commission, you just relax about everything else. You don't have to think, oh, well, will I do this, or will I do that, or what can I... Luckily, every piece that I've ever sort of set my heart to and made has sold. Now, luckily, I'm starting to be in a position that I've now got a line of commissions, which is where I want to be. So it's brilliant to have that.
Well,
now.
We will be coming back at the end of production. We'll take some shots along the way. We should mention that you're in your beautiful Greystones. Well, high tech, I think would be fair to say. You've got a wonderful studio here, and wisely you put yourself out of the house and the kids and the husband and the dogs and all that, so you can get your 4. You say the 5 hours is really what you go for. Is
we have to build up tokens of who has to do the hours. So. We juggle that, but once I'm up here, and they know that that's it, and I'll be back down when I've, reached a level of satisfaction that I can achieve, and then I go back in and, sort everyday life things and pick everything back up off the floor. But
so we're on Wednesday, the 24th of February, 2016. So when would you think you've got a kind of a date in your mind?
Middle of March, I want to finish this. Yeah. So brilliant. Just if around St Patrick's Day,
nice.
A week later, I reckon.
Well, we will be back here, and we'll see the end, I think, down at the theatre itself. But so far so beautiful, and I think people will see on the page here that on the guide some of the other work you've done. Just beautiful stuff.
Yeah, no, the wonderful thing about this is that it's an installation rather than a sculpture. So that's the first time I've done that. So I'm able to do some slightly more creative things, and they wanted a little bit of colour in them. So I'm going to put colour up into the wings using coloured wire. Now this is, so you can see we've got all these lovely, that's a little bit of a sweetie shot for me, because I've been allowed to delve into colour. Now the only reason why I can do this is because I've tried this wire outside before, and unfortunately with the rain and the acid that's in the rain, it strips off within a month. So you end up with no colour. So that's why when they're outside they have to be really quite firm and quite very robust.
We should say hello to Maggie, is not allowed in because a little bit too enthusiastic for a workspace. But yeah, as I said, we'll wrap it up, but I'm looking forward especially to seeing whatever piece you've dedicated to me, because I don't see a resemblance here, but I'm sure, you know, you can...
not,
sure.
Paul?
Well, there is a great physicality and yeah, good ass and all that, but you know, I just think it could be better.